All right, I'm on here. Um, this live right here is to address the resurrection. And I know that it's some people that teach that there is no resurrection, and there are some that teach that there is some teach it's not a resurrection, and some teach that it is a resurrection. Probably got my tongue tied, but that's what I'm gonna be covering today: the resurrection of the dead. All right. So before I start, I'm gonna say shalom to the hearers of the word. Shalom to everyone that is coming into the chat. I saw Brother Moshe earlier. He was bringing forth a message, but um, I told him I would go back and watch it a little later. I listened to some of it, and it really blessed me. The things that he was bringing forth, and I'm glad that I've heard from the brethren. I'm so I just want to leave it like that, and I'm gonna go to the Bible, and we're gonna start, I believe, in the Revelation. So we're going to Revelation chapter 20. I noticed that when I go live, when I talk loud, uh, trying to make sure that my voice is heard in the mic, because sometimes I don't see the green light blinking and it's too loud. So I'm going to talk like this, and if it's a problem, please let me know. All right, so I'm going to start in Revelation chapter 20, and let's go ahead and go to verse 5. All right, the scriptures say, and remember, this is Revelation, but the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years were finished. So who is who is these other dead? Let's go up a little. All right. So I'm gonna start in verse 4. Verse 4. I'm gonna start right here. All right. It say, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw that the souls of men, that the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of Elohim, and which had not worshipped the beast, nor his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Mashiach 1,000 years. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. Now, right here, how can people that was beheaded live and reign with Messiah for 2,000 years if the dead cannot be resurrected? And many people say that they don't believe in the book of Revelation, and when they do that, I move away from them kind of people, because I know the judgment that comes on people that uh, speaks against the book of Revelation. Uh, I'm not gonna go into detail about that, but I will read it if y'all willing, about the judgment of people who add to or who change the words that are written in this book. And not just this book, but there's a judgment on anybody that uh, willingly goes and uses this Bible in a contrary way, and not using it for the sake of why it was written. All right? And I'm going to say again, Shalom, Shalom, uh, Achwath, Mika, Achya, Moshe, Shalom, Mashpaka, and Barakatah upon all of y'all that's coming inside of the chat. So I'm going to stop this screen share, and then I'm finna pull up some more Bible verses, Mashpaka. Alright. So remember that was Revelation. So now we going to, because a lot of people say they don't believe it because they don't believe in the New Testament. And some people say they don't believe nothing about resurrection because, so for whatever reason they have. So let me go to the Oldest Testament. Let me go to Numbers. Matter of fact, let me go to Isaiah chapter 26. We're going to see why resurrection is important. All right, let's go there. And the psalmist, in Isaiah's, his name is Yahshaya. Yahshaya means salvation. Shaya, salvation. And it say right here, song of trust in Allah's provision. In verse 1 it say, in that day shall this song be sung in the land of Yahweh. We have a strong city, salvation. Will Elohim appoint 4 walls and bulwarks? Open ye the gates, that the righteous nation which keepeth the truth may enter. Thou wilt keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusts in thee. In order to trust in Yah, you got to trust in his promises. And you also have to obey. But I'm talking about the trust and what he says. You have to trust in his promises. You can obey all day. But if the scripture never told you through the prophets, as they spoke by, they heard the spirit of Allah to obey Yahweh. If the scripture didn't say you had to obey Yah, and you didn't have to trust in his word that he said, obey me, then you wouldn't trust in Yah. But the scripture said that we ought to obey and trust in Yah. So we have confidence and hope in Yah and for what his words say. Trust ye in Yahweh forever. For in Yahweh, for in Adonai Yahweh is everlasting strength. They got Jehovah there. Is everlasting strength in Yahweh. For he bringeth down them that dwell on high. So when you trust in Yahweh, it's everlasting strength. So if a lot of us say we don't believe in Yah, and I have evidence proof that a lot of our ancestors, some of them believed in certain things and some of them didn't. We have the same issue that they had back then. For he bringeth them down, for he bringeth them that dwell on high. The lofty city, he layeth it low. He lays it low. He lay it low, even to the ground. He bring it even to the dust. Hamashiach said, he that trusts in my words, I will liken that man as unto a wise man that built his house upon a rock. The wind hit it, the waves beat upon that house, but that house stood. But I will liken a wicked man. I will liken the man that does not hope and that does not have a foundation, that does not believe in my words, as a man that built this house upon the sand. The wind hit it, the waves hit it, the wind and the rain hit it, but great was the fall of that house because it was not built upon the foundation of Yahweh. So it say right here in verse 6, the foot shall tread it down, even the foot of the poor, and the steps of the needy. The way of the just is uprightness. Thou most upright dost weigh the path of the just. Yeah, in the way of thy judgments, O Yahweh, have we walked for thee. The desire of our soul is to thy name. So he say, yeah, in the way of your judgment, O Yahweh, how we walk for you. In the way of your judgment. He said, if you don't keep my commandment, I'm going to scatter you here. If you keep my commandments, I'm going to bless you. So whatever way of his judgment, O Yahweh, we are waited for you. The desire of our soul is to your name. Name there, reputation, glory, memorial. Our soul is to thy name and to the remembrance of thee. See that? Remembrance. So that means memorial. With my soul have I desired thee in the night. Say, with my soul have I desired you in the night. With my rawak within me will I seek you early. For when your judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. So if y'all judge us good for what we do good, or if he judge us for what we do bad, what it say that it do is that for your judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness. Let favor be showed to the wicked. Listen to this. Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet he will not learn righteousness. So people telling the rich to sit at my on my couch, or telling the poor to sit at my footstool, is not going to instruct them on righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he dwell unjustly. So when you see the poor and you see the rich, this is what you're looking at. Because the rich have all of the wealth for themselves. It's only a select few of people that have all of the money and resources, while the poor is laboring and in the field and everything. But the rich can lay back and sit down and drink the oldest wine, probably wine from the 1800s, and sitting there drinking sweet old wine while the poor is out there laboring out there in the field. And they say, and will not behold the majesty of Yahweh. So they will not even behold the majesty of Yahweh. So with all their riches and all their glory, they could look in the mirror all they want to, but they will not behold the majesty of Yahweh. What did Yahweh Shai say? Who did you see? He said, it was me that was laying out there in the street. It was me that was in prison. It was me that was hungry. Yahweh, when thy hand is lifted up, they will not see. They don't even see when his hand lifted up. But they shall see and be ashamed. See, there's going to come a time when the rich and the greedy and the wicked, they will see and be ashamed of their envy at the people. So they is jealous of the people that are poor. Who is the poorest people on earth? People always stealing our inventions, stealing our ideals, stole our land, stole everything about our identity. It said, Yahweh, when thy hand is lifted up, they will not see. You see that? But they shall see and be ashamed for their envy at the people. Yeah, the fire of thine enemies shall devour them. All right? Say the fire of your enemies shall devour you, wicked people. Yahweh, Yahweh, you will ordain peace for us. You see, we need peace as the poor. For thou also hast wrought all our works in us. O Yahweh, Alayah means our Yah, our Alahayim. Other Adonai, besides thee, have had dominion over us. So it say other lords besides. So when you saying Lord, 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 make sure you know who you're talking to. Is you talking to Yahweh, or is you talking to the lords that's ruling over you? Is you talking to Yahweh? You talking to Yahweh Shai, or is you talking to your landlords? Is you talking to your dad or your mother, or are you talking to your governors? Which lords are you referring to? He has a name. Other lords besides you, other lords besides you have had dominance, 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 They living in the fatted places of the earth, but you living inside of huts and inside of ragtag buildings and living inside the hood and in the projects. You're living from paycheck to paycheck. You can lose everything today if you think because you on these big jobs that you can't lose everything today. He say, but by thee only will we make mention of thy name. But by you only will we make mention of your name. So, but by you. So all these people is propping themselves up as if they are your Adonai Yah, as if they are your Lord, as they are your Adonai. But they are not Adonai. They are writing down their wicked decrees and laws that they prescribe for themselves, and they wrote it against you, and they seek out the poor. They hate the poor. But by thee only will we make mention of thy name. So by only Yahweh we will make mention of your memorial, Yahweh. They have not your memorial. They are not Yahweh. They are dead. They are dead. They shall not live. They are deceased. They are already judged the dead. They shall not rise. Therefore hast thou visited and destroyed them and made all their memory to perish. All right? He gonna destroy their names, their fame, their glory of the nations. He's gonna destroy all of the wicked and proud people that love to oppress the poor. They eat up the poor. They oppress the poor. They say it's peace, but it ain't no peace. Thou hast increased the nation, O Yahweh. Thou hast increased the nation, the Gentile, the Gentiles, which means nation. Gentile means nation, so it could be talking about Israel. It could be talking about the Edomite. But he's saying right here, look at what nation he's talking about. Thou hast increased the nation, O Yahweh. Thou hast increased the nation. Thou art glorified. Thou hast removed it far unto all the ends of the earth. So what nation is this that he increased but moved it far to the ends of the earth? Yahweh, in trouble have they visited thee. They poured out a prayer when you chastised, when your chastening was upon them, when you started whooping them like a daddy take out his belt and whoop those whom he loved, a father chasing those who he loved, right? So who is this nation? When he said it two times. Who is this nation that the prophet Yeshaya is talking about? Like as a woman with child that draweth near the time of her delivery. So this is the birth pains of Yasharal, is in pain and crieth out in her pains because she getting ready to have a baby, but she having contractions. So have we. So have we. Now, who is Yeshaya? Yeshaya is Yasharal. Yeshaya is a man of Yasharal. So he's talking about his people. He ain't talking about everybody. So have we been in thy sight. Everybody ain't getting done in like Yasharal. So when we cry out for our help, why is people trying to make it look like we transgress against the Almighty Elohim and against the Shemayam wa Arats for calling out for our salvation? So have we been in thy sight, O Yahweh. Why is it seen as a transgression for the people who've been beaten down and get no reparations? People don't respect them. Why is it seen as anti-Semitic for us to call and ask for Yah to save us from our oppression? Why is it seen as reverse racist when a mother trying to make sure that her baby don't die in the hospital? Why is it reverse racist? We have been with child. We have been in pain. Say we were being born again as a nation. We have as it were brought forth wind. We have not brought any deliverance. So we cried and did all this stuff and we brought forth as if it was wind. Nothing is. Grab your hand out with nothing in your hand and tell me what you grabbing. This is what the prophet Yeshaya is saying. Neither have the inhabitants of the world fallen. So neither have the nations of this earth and their governmental bodies fallen. Neither have their oppressive regime fallen. Your dead man. Now listen to this. So this is why you got to know that it's important that the dead shall live. Listen to the prophet Yeshaya and not a false prophet that speak against Yeshaya. Your dead men shall live together with my dead carcass. A dead body is a carcass. Together with my dead body shall they arise. So wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that Yahweh is going to have a corpse laying in Yasharal? He just going to raise up a corpse out the grave and just bring it over there and throw it on the ground? Or he going to take it and take up a dead corpse for what? Awake and sing, yea, ye that dwell in dust. So he say the people that's dead, the corpse, the people in their tomb, the people that's dead. For your dew is as the dew of herbs, and the earth shall cast out her dead. Now, why would Isaiah go through all the hell that he went through with just so he could die and it ain't nothing after that? Why do we have to keep the commandments if all we got to do is die and it ain't nothing after that? Then why not all of us live like fools if there is no resurrection? Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers and shut thy door and shut thy doors about thee. That's what the book of Wisdom of Solomon said. That's what the wicked talk like. It ain't no resurrection from the dead. Which one would you understand has more understanding? Solomon, the wisest, Shalaman, the wisest king, the Yasharal, the wisest man? Or people who living in these days, or people who was either even living in those days that said there is no resurrection? Are they wiser than King Solomon? Are they wiser than Yahweh? Hide yourself, as it were, for a little moment until the indignation be overpassed. So the people that's in the dust, the people that's in their grave, that sleep, that is sleep, as the scriptures say. They sleep, as the scriptures say, in their graves, in the dust of wherever they was massacred and beheaded and all that. Wherever they was thrown at, wherever their body was just left for the buzzards to eat. It don't matter if the buzzards ate them and came out of their hind part. It don't matter where Yahweh is able to bring their body back again. He created Adam from the Adabam. I'm pretty sure he's able to create and form that man's body with the specific parts that came with that body. It don't matter if there was amputation going on. It don't matter what they did. Yahweh will bring all of those and put it back and make that person how he want them to be. For behold, Yahweh cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth. Is this an imagination as well? Because people want to act like the resurrection is an imagination. He said Yahweh is coming out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the world. Is it going to be like grabbing wind? Or is Yahweh going to come and smite them with the sword of his mouth and cut people asunder of the earth for their iniquity? The earth will, if Yahweh see that there is physical iniquity, why would he judge it with an invisible judgment that is not real? You see a physical iniquity, you see physical murder, you see physical genocide. So Yahweh will come back and return judgment and physical judgment on the people. The earth also shall disclose her blood. See, everybody that was massacred, the blood, Yahweh hear their voice. Yahweh hear the blood crying out, and shall no more cover her slain. How long has Yahweh been hearing the blood of the just and the righteous uh people crying out. Aman. That's right. Our blood been crying out all across America, all across all these nations, all across Europe, all across, if they want to say Mecca, all across wherever Yasharal at, all across Africa, all across every nation on earth. Blood just crying out. People's tears is falling on the ground, and people think that Yahweh is going to ignore their tears forever. Yeah, brother, that's right. Our ancestors' blood is still crying out. They say it don't matter. They like they can't talk no more. They blood still crying out. All of the blood of the righteous, all of the blood of the innocent little babies inside of the hospitals that they begging for the right to slay and massacre still. All of the blood of the babies that was thrown inside of the alligator. All of the blood of the people who was drug on ship. All of the blood of the people's blood who was burnt to the stake. Imagine how loud the people whose blood was burnt by fire that's crying out. All of the blood of those who was lynched on trees. All of the blood, even that sister, her blood, that sister that was just recently lynched on that tree, her blood is crying out. The souls of the innocent is crying out inside of the prison. All of the innocent people of the Black Panthers' blood who was murdered inside of that building just for feeding their children. That wasn't no wicked regime. Those people wasn't no terrorists like they try to paint out people to be terrorists. Those people went out and fed the people in the community. They made sure white folk, black folk, Puerto Rican, Spanish, and Indian, whoever it may be, even if the president would have got off of his high horses and came down there, he probably could have got a plate. But they went inside of there and they massacred them people. And Auntie Assata Shakur is still locked up. Assata Shakur still can't come back. Sister Assata, she still can't come back. All these people that's getting murdered. You know how the drug raids and things started? It didn't start from responsible people. They gave guns and they gave drugs to children. To children. It's not the children's fault that they led wrong. They gave guns, they gave choppers, they gave crack to children, and then they turned around and locked up the people that was hooked on the drugs that got it from children, from oppressed people trying to feel like they in heaven. Oppressed people, little children out there selling crack cocaine because adults gave them machine guns. Adults gave them pistols. Adults laid out a whole truck of guns in the hood. And the children got the guns. The little babies got the guns. And they picked up the drugs and they found out they can make money. That's what happened. And then they lock up the little children. They pass a new bill. They say marijuana is legalized. But the little children that started out as little children, they grown now. And a lot of them locked up in there. They still locked up. I'll just come to check to see if you got marijuana on your That's what they do. And turn around and blame it on those who were children. They was taking the parents away and putting them inside a prison, just raiding their house. They placed the drugs and the guns in the hands of our community, but they gave it in the hands of little children. Of children. Children. Yeah, from state to state. Little children, if you give a little child, just like they do in school, a parent give their child what they want them to eat, and they come to school and the school say, oh, that's not proper. And they come there looking through the house and the parent doing all they can. Why is your parent not home? Because they got to work 2 and 3 jobs because y'all raise up rent so darn high. And get mad at the children. Get mad at the parents, want to take their children away from why the parent at work, DCF, got they sneaky, nasty self inside the house, taking their children, kidnapping little children. and got the nerve to call the little children thugs and gangsters when they grow up and get a certain age. They done took their parents away. And now that they done got grown, they say, with the 94 crime bill, I don't care how they got through. I don't care how they get to it, even though it was started by them. I don't care how they got to it. Let's just go ahead and throw them in there and make the sentence time harder so they can't never get out. Locking up little children. Locking up little children that you made sure they was unsupervised. You made sure they was unsupervised and then lock them up for doing what children would do unsupervised. Many of our people have mental illnesses because of all the horror that we see. And people turn around and tell us that there is no resurrection. If there's no resurrection, then what's the purpose? We might as well all go out and just be harlots and nasty, low down, dirty dogs. If it ain't no resurrection, we might as well just go out and do like the man said on the scroll. He scrope to the east and scrope to the west and scrope to the woman that he like the best. We might as well do all that stuff. It ain't no resurrection. If it's not no resurrection, you might as well go out there and be the biggest, nasty, low down, dirty sinner you could be instead of wasting your time doing something that's just temporary and it ain't gonna benefit you at all. You might as well be the biggest sellout that a Negro ever been. You might as well be if there is no resurrection from the dead. Because if you die and it ain't nothing after this, that all of your life that you live trying to serve Yahweh, it was all for vanity. All of your ancestors died in vain. Them doing all that and carrying and suffering and going through all the stuff we went through with, waiting on a promise from a Elohim that say all you gonna do is die and go in your grave and it ain't nothing else after that. You don't feel no more. You ain't gonna think no more. All you gonna be is dust. You gonna go back to the earth. If you gonna do like that, then you might as well live like an animal. If there is no resurrection. If there's no resurrection of the dead, then all of your life that your ancestors struggled and went through with, praying and hoping for a better day inside of slavery, in chains, with chains on their neck and chains in their face, getting battered and bruised all across the world. All of their hope and everything that they stand for is all in vain if it ain't no resurrection. If it ain't no resurrection, then Martin Luther King died in vain. If it ain't no resurrection, then Malcolm X and all of them died in vain. If it ain't no resurrection, then Paul died in vain. If it ain't no resurrection, then Messiah didn't raise. If it ain't no resurrection, then the Father is a liar. If it ain't no resurrection, then there is no such thing as a such thing. If it ain't no resurrection, it ain't no meaning of life. If it ain't no resurrection, then America is justice and America is justified in all the evil that they do. If it ain't no resurrection, then hell is righteous and heaven is hell. If it ain't no resurrection, then the poor is wicked because they ask for something to eat. If it ain't no resurrection, then all of your dreams and hopes is futile and vain. You might as well hang yourself because the world ain't gonna change. If it ain't no resurrection, you might as well take your own life. I wonder why so many people on this earth is taking their life, because many of them are being told that there is no resurrection. They have been told there is no hope for them. They have been told that all there is a color. They've been told that they ain't nobody. They've been told that their ancestors is monkeys and they believe it. They've been told that they ain't nothing. They've been told that they is worthless. They've been told that they dogs, and everybody believe it. If there ain't no resurrection, in the people who died for Hamashiach died in vain. Even your false prophets that teach against resurrection still act like they got a moral compass. If there is no resurrection, then it ain't no meaning. Not for not one Negro across this planet. I don't care how much money you got. It's useless. Who care about a stinking shining diamond ring? Who care about that? That ring can't do nothing for you. What really do your shiny things do for you, Negroes? What really do your nice clothes do for you? All you do is look what we call good. Do that really look good? What's the meaning of life if there is nothing else after this but nothing? We ain't no. That's right, brother. We ain't no monkey. They taught us that in school. That mankind came from monkeys. Remember, they used to teach us that Negroes wasn't no human being. That we was 3/5 of humans. They was calling us that monkey that they came from. They say because they know that everybody originated from Africa. They know that everybody originated from Africa. They know J-Fad came from the place where they call Africa. They know J-Fad when Noah named his son "You Beautiful," that he came from a melanated people. They know. They know that J-Fad was a black person before he went up to Europe and whatever happened to them down there. They know that. Esau left from Africa black and came back white. When he went up down there to Italy and mixed his seed with them people, he came back a mixed race of people. They know we ain't no monkey. So I'm telling y'all got to start checking these people that's trying to tell you that there ain't no resurrection. Speaking it, that's right. The whole earth was melanated. And in Greek, melanoma is where you get the word melanated. And it means a person with brown pigment in their skin, with natural brown pigment. Melanated. And I learned something in Revelation. He said his skin was like brass. The color of brass is brown, just like a brass penny. A brass penny is brown, but when he say like a oven, like it had been burnt in the ovens, it's telling you how brown that brass is. So when it said that our ancestors' skin was black, it was saying it was very dark. That's what the word shahar means. It means very dark. Just like Laban means white or without darkness, without any brownness in it, without any hawam in it. Hawam is how you say brown. Yasharal, we are Hawam people, brown people. But they call us Shahar Americans. If you look up African American in them Assyrian block letters, it'll say Shakur American. Black American. Shakur American. Shakur, just like Asata Shakur. Shakur American. Black American. We ain't no monkey, and we have hope. Don't let nobody spoil you with vain philosophies, with evil and vain philosophies. I feel like the Apostle Paul right now. Don't let nobody spoil you with vain philosophies. Now right here it say the resurrection in the book of Luke. Luke chapter 24. Now, verse 1. Now upon the first day of the week, very early in the morning, they came unto the sepulchre, the tomb, bringing the spices which they had prepared. You know how the Egyptians prepare spices, and certain others with them. And they found the stone rolled away in the sepulchre. And they entered in and found not the body of Hamashiach, Yahushua. And it came to pass, Adonijah, Yahushua. And it came to pass. You see, Hamashiach was wrapped up like a mummy in swaddling cloth. That's how the mummies, that's how the Masraim wrapped themselves up. Yasharal was a nation was born in Masraim. The children of Sham through the lineage of Abar and through the lineage of Ya'aquabah, who was his son. Their nation was born in Masraim, right below their land, right below their land, right below their land, right below their land. And it came to pass, as they were much perplexed thereabout, behold, two men stood by them in shining garments, and as they were afraid, see, even your clothes shine in the glory of Yahweh. So when they say Yahweh's face was shining, that's not how his face was until the glory hit his face. But when we see the glory of Yah, we see Yahweh, because he is that bright light that shines. He is the light that's shining on the Malakayim. He is that bright glory. He is that light, that appearance, as if that's why he's the bright and morning. The scripture called Messiah. He said, I am the bright and the morning star. He shines brighter than the sun. So the sunlight ain't got nothing on Hamashiach. Them in shining garments. Remember what he said? And his angels are a burning flame. We know not what we shall be, but we know when we shall see him, we shall be as he is. Yahweh has a glorified body. You got to remember that his malakim are a burning flame of fire. Yahweh is greater than his servants. He's greater than his angels, and he's greater than Adam. But he's not greater than Abanawa. And as they were afraid and bowed down their faces to the earth, this is the firstborn son. This is the son of righteousness, when he's the firstborn of the resurrection of the righteous. But before Hamashiach was resurrected, the prophet Elijah resurrected somebody through the power of Yahweh. So how can they say that resurrection? How can the Sadducees and the Pharisees and them be going at it to and fro? One believe there's a resurrection, the other one believe it ain't. That's the same argument that's going on now today. I wonder if the sect of people that call themselves this name and the sect of people that call themselves that name, that's still going on about this argument about resurrection. I wonder if we can see that they are the Pharisees and the Sadducees. To the earth, they said unto them, why seek ye the living among the dead? Why seek you 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 a living man among corpse? Why seek you a living man among mummies, among a whole bunch of mummies laying up, wrapped up in swaddling cloth? Why seek you the living man that was a mummy that rose from the grave, among a whole bunch of dead mummies that later on will be called mummies in America? Why seek you the living among the dead? He is not here. He is not here. The man with flesh like brass and hair like wool, the man with brown skin like Negroes and hair like wool like Negroes, he's not dead. He is not here. Hamashiach is not dead, but is risen. Remember how he spoke. Anybody that believe that Hamashiach didn't raise from the grave, they believe in the white man. Because, let me show you. How he spake unto you, because a lot of people say the white man. That's what they say, the white man. Then they believe in Esau. How he spake unto you when he was yet in Galilee. Where's Galilee, Mashpaka? Where's Galilee? Ain't that what they call, okay, look up Galilee and look up what's getting bombed. Saying, the Son of Man must be delivered into the hand of sinful men and be crucified. And the third day rise again. Who wrote this? The prophets. Which one of them that I can point out? I can tell you indefinitely that the prophet Daniel spoke about the resurrection of Hamashiach from the dead. And be crucified, and the third day rise again. And they remember his words. And they remember his words. And return from the scepter. You know, the place where they bury mummies at. The cave where they buried the mummies. Where they wrapped them in swaddling cloth. Just like the Hamites did. Also the Israelites buried their dead just like the Hamites did. They buried each other the same way. They was mistaken for each other on many occasions. Hamashiach was mistaken for an Egyptian. The apostle Shawal was mistaken for an Egyptian. And they was burying one another like each other. They can be called twins now today. And returned from the scepter and told all these things unto the 11 and to all the rest. It was Maryam Magdalene. Magdalene is the place where she stayed at. Joanna and Mary, the mother of Yakana. See, the mother of Yaquaba. See, back then they didn't have last names. So now that you got a last name, Negro, you the people that was given the names of your slave master. So you got Jerry, the son of Jones. Mary, the son of Martha. The son of Matthew. So you have somebody named Mary Matthews. You belong to Matthews. You belong to the Matthews family. My last name is Kennedy. Then I was belonging to the Kennedy plantation. If your last name is Henry, then you belong to the Henry plantation. If your last name is Miller, you belong to the Miller plantation. And other women that were with them, which told these things unto the apostles, and their words seemed to them as idle tales, like they telling tales. See, you see how Negroes do. Somebody trying to tell them something. They trying to tell them, look, Messiah rose up from the grave, and their words seemed to them as idle tales, like, you know, telling tales. And they believe them not. So just like when somebody said, hey, the president said he finna give out stimulus checks to everybody, some Negroes didn't highly doubted it. I doubted it. It was like an idle tale to me. But when that check came inside of the mail, or what came inside of my card, I said, oh, okay, now I believe it. So I can be likened unto the Apostle Thomas in that sense right there. Then arose Kepha and ran unto the scepter, and stooping down, he beheld the linen clothes laid by themselves, and departed. Who buried a people in linen cloth? And wondering in himself, the Egyptians did that. Why was our burying practices and everything? Why was everything about us scripted away? They didn't want you to connect the dots. Why didn't they let you read Hebrew? That ain't gonna hurt them for you to know 2 languages. Why they ain't let you read your original scrolls? Why they burnt them scrolls up and let you read English only? Why they make it? Why is it so important that you can't never just say Yahweh? Why is always a problem with that? Why in verse 13 it say village and not city? Why in verse 13 it say a village and not a city? Why do it say that? Let me show you right here. A village. I'm going to say it like our brother. I'm going to try my best. A village, my brother. Village right there. It said right there, we have villages in Africa. Villages are in Africa. This one here belongs to us. We are the people of the book. We are the people of the book. Oh, this one is us, yo. This one belongs to me and you, brother. This one is ours. Why are we giving it away to other people? Oh, that's what I'm trying to explain to you, Yasharal. This is our book. This is our book. Aman? That's right, brother. That's right, sister. Shalom, sister Oils of Joy. Glad to see you here. And shalom to my wife Valentina. I saw her earlier. Y'all, Valentina up in here. All right. So the scripture is telling us who this belongs to. This is for our salvation. This is our salvation. And just like the brother Moshe said, let me put that up there real quick. Just like what the brother said right here. Y'all see that? Joshua is the English version for Jesus. Most Christians don't even know that. So when they say Joshua, right? And remember, they say his name means Jehovah saves. Remember that they said his name means Jehovah saves. So how can you say his name is Jehovah saves, but his name is Joshua? So okay then, so Jehovah saves must not be Jehovah saves. If they say his name is Jehovah, and there is no J, and there is no E, and there's no Vav, but they got the other ones right. Yah, Ha, Wah. Find out how to say salvation in Hebrew. Let's look up Joshua's name again. We're gonna go back to Joshua. I'm glad you pointed that out, brother. Cause I didn't hit that too good last time, I don't think. And it's not Yeshaya, but you can see that Shai means salvation. So let me go to Yeshaya. Because it's Joshua. But let's go to Yeshaya. And we're going to see that Yeshaya name means salvation. Alright? So let's go. I believe it's Isaiah chapter 1. Yeshaya chapter 1. And I'm about to get out of here in a few minutes. But I'm finna go to Isaiah chapter 1. Yeshaya chapter 1. So you see right here, his name is right there. All right. Let me make sure I'm sharing the Isaiah. All right. Yeah, they been lying to our people. My grandma don't like it when you say lie. She say they been telling stories. They been telling tales. If she would say it. If my grandma would just say it. They've been telling tales to our people all these years. Tales, just telling tales. All right? So let me go ahead and find this right here. Aman. All right, let's go to Isaiah's. All right, sister. Let me go to Isaiah's. All right, and after that, I got one more I'm going to read to you. Maybe two more. Because I want to prove to you our ancestors was talking salty back then about the resurrection. All right, but first I'm going to go to Isaiah chapter 1. All right, we're going to go to the Hebrew translation. Y'all want to go to the Strong's of the Lexicon. Let's go to the Hebrew Yeah, let's go to the lexicon. All right. All right. Watch this. You see where it say of Isaiah? Yah, Shah, I, Yah, Yeshaya. They say Yashayahu. Yeshaya, Yeshayahu. That's the Assyrian way to say it. That's still another form of Hebrew. But I'm telling you about the one that they call. So let me look this up. We're going to look up this Shah. All right? So let's go here. I don't know if y'all can see that. Let me make sure. Okay, y'all can see it. Let me go back in now. I'm almost done. All right, so let me go back in now. So we're going to go to where it says salvation. So let me look it up. Let me look up salvation. All right. Strong's for salvation. Right there. Strong's for salvation. Yah, Shah, Y. Yashaya. Now, in the short form to say it is Yashawai. In a long way to pronounce it is Yahweh Shai. And it means salvation. So now I want to show y'all something that I didn't get the opportunity. Well, I forgot to show you the other time that I was on here because I told y'all that I wanted to show y'all that Greek, how the Greeks did us. So I'm finna show y'all the Paleo Hebrew letter, and I'm finna show y'all it is nowhere on. I'm gonna try to look it up. All right. So let's see. Canaan. Hebrew. And they still putting that, but that ain't the one. I'm gonna find it. So help me, Yahweh. All right. I'm almost done. All right. And Canaan, he wrote different anyway. I'm gonna show you how Canaan wrote, but hold on, let me share this with you real quick. So I'm gonna share this, what they call Canaanite Hebrew, with you. All right. Then I'm finna end in prayer. I invite some of y'all up and you can speak for a little bit. All right, there we go. Can y'all see the screen? Let me pull it up closer. All right. So let me go ahead and show it. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about the Canaanite Hebrew. What they call Canaanite Hebrew because they called us Canaan under the curse of Ham. And nobody can deny that, and people be like they don't understand what's going on. Canaanitism, what they call it. Canaanitism, what they was doing. Trying to enslave people because of the curse of Ham, they say. But Ham wasn't cursed. Israel was the one under curse because they was the one that was given the covenant. Now look at this right here, 1939. Reached its peak. It reached its peak. 1940s among the Jews, mandatory Palestine. Look at this. Look at. In the 1940s. In the 1940s. In the 1939. who was being called Canaanite monkeys. All right. Now let's see. They say Phoenician Hebrew right here. Kanai, Kanaya, Kanayana, Kanayana. Now look, now they say Phoenician. I want y'all to see what Phoenician means. Phoenician is an extinct, is an extinct, is an extinct, just like they extinct the memory of us, is an extinct Canaanite Semitic language. Means it was an Afro language spoken in the region surrounding the cities of Tyre and Sidon. So that's where the Canaanites lived at. But let me show you something. The Phoenician language was also spoken by Moses. The reason why the Canaanites spoke it is because they was the servants of their masters, and they had to understand what their master was telling them. If you want to take over a kingdom, why would you take over a kingdom by taking the slaves? That's not going to take over the kingdom. You got to take down the power of that kingdom. So the people that they took down, they took them down. They didn't take down the servants. That's not how you attack a kingdom. You don't attack a kingdom by taking down the servants. You attack the kingdom by taking the power of the servants down, or else the kingdom can regroup. But if we wasn't being an oppressive nation, if we wasn't colonizing the Phoenicians, we wasn't colonizing the Phoenicians. What the Afro, what they call, see right there, Afro Asiatic people, Afro Asiatic people ran all that place. What people is fighting over right now, the Afro-Asiatic languages. What did the scripture say? All of the nations were divided in their lands, and they spoke their languages in the lands that they were divided in. Also known as Hameto-Semitic or Semitic Hamitic, are all are because they say Semeto-Hamitic. So they trying to call the ancient Israelites Hamites, but we was not Hamites just because we were dark. Just like they said that the apostle Paul was a Hamite, but the apostle Shawal was not a Hamite. But they called him a Hamite when they called him a Masrium, but he wasn't even in the land of Egypt, and they called him Masrium. They weren't saying it because they was in Egypt. They called him Masrium because he looked like the Hamite. That's why they called us Afro Asiatic, Hamitic, Semitic people, not because we were Hamites, but because we looked like the Hamites, just like they thought that Messiah was a Hamite, just like they thought that the Israelites were the seed of Cush, because they cannot see the difference because we black people. The Israelites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Jebusites, all of the people in that area were black, Asiatic looking people. They were black. They were chocolate people. All right. Afro, Asiatic, Afros, Afro. They had Afro. They all of them had Afro, Afros, Afro. All of them had Afro. Now let's look it up on Google Translate. Google Translate. Let me make sure I'm showing on the screen. Hold on, Mashpaka. Let me make sure. Let me make sure. All right, I'm on now. Okay, brother. All right, I'm finna show y'all because I don't even have no keyboard to put it up there. So I had to take it from one end and put it on the other one because they don't even have the courtesy to let us have our own keyboard and stuff. So, but that's okay, family. We need to create our own keyboard. All right, here it go. Is that English? Is that an English? Is that an English? It say it's a widely used phrase, but is that English? Look at this. What it? Can you hear it? I don't hear it. Let's go up here. Let's go to Afrikaans language. It is that the language? Let's transfer it over. It might work. No, it still ain't working. Okay, let's go to what language is this here, y'all? Think about it, Mashpaka. Your language was the one that was erased. I want to take my time. Let's go to auto detect. If any language inside of the languages that people speak today, because every other nation speak their language, but you. And this is the only one that nobody speak no more, Mashpaka. This is the one the slave master was beating out your ancestors' mouth. Think about it. How can they beat what language? Okay, listen. If they beat every language out of your mouth, then how come every other language is still spoken? But this one belong to you. Look, not there. Let's see. Let's see if the letters show up. I mean, my goodness, at least should show the letter. Because I know this ain't English, so I ain't got to worry about that. But since people say that it's English, so let's go back up to auto detect and let's see what they put. English detected. How is that English? What do that mean in English, Mashpaka? Are we Englishmen? Who are the Englishmen? They say English detected. Is this an Englishman's speech? Who is this language right here? So since they say it's the Englishman's speech, let's go to Zulu. They say Zulu is the oldest one. Where is it? Microsoft Translator. Can't find it. Widely used phrases. It's widely used because the awakening happened. But where is this name, Mashpaka? Where is the name at? I don't see it nowhere. Who spoke this language here? It say Google Translate service offer free services, and they do. But it's not on there. You know why? Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why, Mashpaka. African. Afro. I'm going to put Afro. Afro slaves. Language. Was beat out of them. Oh no, they'll fix it. I know they look right. All right. Afro slave languages was beat out of them. Look at this. Ask Meta Filter. African languages among enslaved people in the U.S. When did enslaved Africans in the U.S. stop speaking African languages? At what point did enslaved Africans in the U.S. stop speaking the language of their continent of origin? I understand that Creoles such as Gullah, which means kinfolk, include. Let me underline this one here too, because I got to show y'all this one. Such as, can y'all see that? Am I still on the screen? No, I'm not on there. So let me share that one with you real quick. Oh, my bad. I thought y'all could see it. All right. All right. Shalom, Sister Namaril. I'm on. All right. Let's go here. All right. African languages. Right here. Boom. Can y'all see that? Gullah. Y'all see that say Gullah? That's just talking about the Haitians. The Haitians is Gullah people too. You say including vocabulary and other linguistic borrowing from African. Did we borrow from African languages? Watch this. But just for the sake of this discussion, I like to focus on the original languages as spoken on the African continent. But I want to know. I want to read why the Africans lost their language. How did they lose it? It's a the kind of data I'm looking for would be a guy in the 1920s writing about uh how people from his grandparents' generation had a special language that spoke among. Okay, so this person said that the only way to know this, you got to do the research on the people that grandparents spoke. Now we see it say Gullah right here. All right, it say Gullah. So I want to show you Mashpaka because my grandmother had told me, but if people don't believe my report, then they can listen to your report. This is how we lost our language. The slave master took a whip. He took a whip and he beat them if they talked in their language. They put soap in their mouth to wash out their mouth. They would cut their tongue out. They would put bottles on their head. They would beat them senseless if they spoke their language. They would cut their hands off. They would kill them. They would massacre them if they even learned how to read. They would do that to them even if they didn't want them to read for themselves. They didn't want them to read their language. They wanted us to read their language. So when we learn how to read English, then they give you a Bible and it's a Negro slave Bible. You read that and right there, but let the preacher read it to you. Now that you know how to read, now we can kind of do this thing now. Now we got a translation for you. Even though we took the original translation from y'all, because it states in the 1500s, this guy went down there and saw people that read in Phoenician Hebrew. This is 1600 before they took these same people and put these same people that spoke Phoenician Hebrew in slavery. They took these people that they call Jews and they brought them down there to the islands. I think it was 20 of them, and they put them in slavery. These are the same people that had to be used to translate the same language that was written in the Bible to the slaves on the Bible, on the ship. Some of them spoke Aramaic using those Assyrian block. Some of them spoke Arabic, but they spoke Paleo Hebrew. These were ancient. You the ancient people. You the ancient ancestors. You the ancestors of the ancients. You the ancestors of the prophets. Yasharal, you the ancestors of the people who said that one day y'all gonna raise up, who prophesied everything that you going through with down to the T. Read it inside of the prophets. Study to show yourself approval. They told you it down to the T of what you was gonna go through with as a people. Down to the T. Aman, they told y'all. They said that we is gonna go through this. They said you shall discontinue from your heritage. What is a part of heritage? Your language. Let me prove it to you. Definition of heritage. Aman. What is heritage? In their dictionary. Inheritance. Inheritance meaning. Now I got to share it again, I think. Hold on, Mashpaka. All right. Okay, I see it. Can y'all see it? Aman. All right. So let me go to back to the. There we go. All right. Now it say inheritance, a thing that is inherited. He came into a comfortable inheritance. What is inheritance. The inheritance of traits. What is inheritance? Let's go on the Webster Dictionary, and then I'm finna pull it up for you. I got to put it on the screen, I think. All right? Then we're going to go to the Bible and figure out what's in here. The things that are promised to you, all right? That's what they say, remember? The things that are promised to you. The things that your ancestors hand down to you. Your ancestors hand down language to you. Your ancestors hand down customs to you. Your ancestors hand down land to you. Your ancestors hand down gold to you. Your ancestors hand down things to you. You don't supposed to start over every generation because of a wicked decree and law set up by people that ain't supposed to rule over you if you was a sovereign nation. A sovereign nation don't have other people ruling over them. They rule over that nation. That means that's a nation that is not colonized. All right? Right here. Synonyms. The synonyms of inheritance. Something that is or may be inherited. The act of inheriting property. Okay, so you had land. So you had property. You had animals. You had property. The reception of genetic qualities by transmission from parent to offspring. So even your accent and your language, your clothing wear, your clothing and your language, genetic qualities. You spoke the same language as your grandmother and your grandfather. The acquisition of possession, of a possession. Your Bible was our possession. Our Bible was our possession. Our gold was our possession. The way we wore our clothes was a part of ours. Our culture, our original culture. The acquisition of possession, condition, the condition, your condition of not being a slave, your condition of not being a slave because you black, your condition of not being a slave because people think you came from a monkey, your condition of being because people thought you was lazy because you knew how to sit down and not halfway kill yourself trying to work for something that you already had. You had family, you had clothing, you had friends. You didn't need all the stuff what people is fighting for in this world, and they thought that we was lazy. They thought that we ain't had nothing to do but sit around. They thought Negroes was just lazy people. Lazy. You owned the time. You was able to lay down. See, the Shabbat was made for you to sit down on and rest. The Shabbat was made for you can rest on, but they don't like for you to rest. That's why your clock is 24/7. You got to get up and go to work and still get paid an obsolete price. Every hour that you work, that's the price that they putting on your life. Is your life worth $20? Is your life worth $113? Is your life worth $1 billion? How much money will you pay? Will you let somebody pay you to snuff out your life? So every hour that you work, which hour is worth you getting paid money for? What hour of your life should you work as money, as a value on your life? When you work, the money should not be, people should not use money over the people. They choose money. They don't choose people. They choose money. They choose to raise up rent so darn high till you can't hardly breathe. They choose money. They choose money to raise up clothes in the store so high till your children got to wear one outfit. They raise up money so high till you can't hardly afford to buy toothpaste. They raise up bills so high because they care about money. They don't care about the people. A tradition. What was the traditions of the ancient people of Israel? Since you came from the land that they called Canaan, and you were called Afro-Asiatic people, and they called you Awida, which translates to Judah, and they called the northern tribe Igbo, which translate to Hebrew, and the scripture calls them Israelites because he said they will be beyond the river of Cush and that they will escape out of that captivity that they was in. That's why he called them Israelites, because that's who they was born to be, not because of no religion, because their mama and daddy got inside of their tent and made a baby. That's how they was born. They wasn't born out of some ritual prayer. What happened is their mama and daddy went inside of their tent, like Adam and Hawa, like Adam and Hawa went inside their tent and they yadai each other. They knew each other inside their tent. They didn't have to learn a religion. When Adam and Hawa went inside their tent, they did not have to study a religion. They didn't have to study fractions. They didn't have to study on multiplication when they went inside their tent. Adam and Hawa didn't have to study algebra inside their tent. They didn't have to study history class. They didn't have to study how to be a Muslim. They didn't have to study how to be Yakwaha, obedient people. They didn't have to study none of that. Even wicked people know how to do this. Wicked people know how to make a baby that came from their father and their mother, and that baby come from them, so they belong to them, not to the slave master. It belongs to the father and the mother, but the baby belongs to Yahweh first. When you dedicate that baby to Yahweh, you saying, Yah, I want this baby to be used by you. I want to set this baby aside for you, not for the world, not for economic power and destruction of my people, but I want this baby to be set aside to be a valuable witness for your tree, a valuable person in the community, a valuable possession that is common heritage from nature. Common heritage from nature. So when you talk to the man from Spain, they can say, hola. When you speak to anybody in all of their language, they know how to tell you hello in their language. So when people that's Afro diaspora people scattered to the four corners of the earth, scattered to the four corners of the earth, when we learn our original way of saying hello, we say shalom. We say shalom. I don't know how nobody else may say it. They may say ni hao. I don't know. But we say shalom. And some of us say shalom. Some of us say however else they say it. But our original, which means our inherited property, our original language and original land, and our original property, the language that Masha spoke, which was Phoenician Hebrew, the language that Masha spoke, the language that Masha wrote. He wrote down the words of Yahweh inside of the book. The words that Masha, the letters that Masha used is your inheritance, Yasharal. Your land is your inheritance. The food that you used to eat, your feast and your Shabbat, all of those things that they say is done away with. All of the things they say if you do, you fell away from grace. All of the things that belong to Negro, they say is done away with. Your big earrings that you wear inside your hair, that they try to make you think that it's ghetto fabulous until they put it inside their ear. What belongs to you, that's your heritage. Aman. 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 All right, Mashpaka. I'm about to head out from here, but I'm finna give a shout out to the family that done came in the chat, all of the family that was here, and the ones that done left. I'm still gonna give y'all a shout out, and y'all let them know that I gave them a shout out. But I was reading, and it's hard for me to see when I'm reading like that. Let me move that from the back. All right. All right. All right. Can you see me? Can you hear me? All right. I want to give a shout out to the family that came in. Let me start at the top. Oh, Shalom, brother Antonio. Thank you, brother, for showing up. Shalom, Antonio. And I think the first people that came in, um, let me see. But I'm gonna honor my wife first, y'all. But gotta honor my wife first, all right? Sister, sisters, yeah, I'm honoring my wife first, all right? Uh, Valentina Kennedy, Shalom, sweetheart. Thank you for coming. All right, and I think the first one that came in that I could see was Sister Mika and Shalom, sister, and brother Ach Moshe Ben Yehuda, Shalom. All right, let me go down further. I know I see mother, um, mother oil of joy music, sister. I didn't say mother. You don't look like no mother yet. You still look like you around our age, and she might be, huh? The oil of joy music, Shalom, and y'all go check out her music. She have beautiful music on her page, Mashpaka. All right, that's my wife, Valentina, right there. If y'all haven't seen her before, that's her right there. I love my sweet pea. All right, and Sister Mika, that's Sister Mika right there, y'all. Make sure y'all go and follow their channels as well. All right, and try to show some moral support to the Mashpaka on here. If you don't have anything, just show some moral support and show up. Amen. So remember, Sister Mika and Brother Moshe, Ben Yehuda, Brother Antonio showed up on the page. Amen. There's a lot of people here that was here that came in and out. And my screen acting up, Mosh Picasso. Forgive me if I call out your name and you don't pop up on the screen. But I'm having issues on my end with my computer. I think it's Sister Namaria. Sister Namaria, y'all please show up on her page. I think Sister Namaria, she has her a store. Y'all check out Sister Namaria's store on her page. All right. And there was a brother I saw. Excuse me. There was a brother I saw. Mm. And Val, you brought me something to drink too. I ain't even drink it. Oh, okay. I think it was one more person I saw. All right. Real talk. Well, Ak Moshe, that's your other page, Ak. Okay, Ak, he was want to share something with y'all. Let me see. That's Ak. That's Ak Moshe right there. He was sharing something with y'all. Kodesh Sefer Bible is our. That's right, bruh. Real talk. And there go our brother Antonio. He got a lot of videos out, y'all. A lot of videos. Oh, no problem, brother. You do a good job, man. I like to come and watch. And I was telling the family that the only thing that Muslim means he who submits. So if we say we ain't no Muslim, we saying that we don't submit. And if we say, well, I can't say that because everybody gonna be against me if I say I'm a Muslim. I mean, if people gonna be against you when you say you submit to Yahweh, It just depends on what kind of Muslim you is. If you a Muslim that submit to Yahweh through Yahweh Shai, you know. So if you gonna submit to Yah, make sure you do it through the Messiah. You know. I believe in the word, so I'm gonna submit to Yahweh through Yahweh Shai. So if I speak to an Arabian brother, if a brother I speak to a brother that speak Arabic, and he say, "Are you Muslim?" and I say no, he gonna look at me like, either I'm one of them ignorant, or he gonna say, "Oh, submit to Allah." Then I'm gonna have to understand that all he was asking me, uh, do I submit to y'all? Now there is religions and there's different mosques and stuff. I don't think I ever went inside of a mosque, but if you went inside of a church, I mean, is that a mosque? So I don't know. But anyway, uh, I'm just saying that we really have to really start looking into these words that we saying that we not. Just because they had propaganda all across the news in 2000 and what year was that? 9/11. What they say when they started saying that anybody that say they're a Muslim is a terrorist, and many of us say I ain't no Muslim. I ain't no Muslim. We ain't even know. That's probably the first time some of us heard what Muslim was, because a lot of us was in school and we was little children, still inside the church, and we ain't know what no Muslim was. And when we heard that, we said, "Oh, I ain't no terrorist." So, but uh, but the Arabic language, they say it mean he who submits. So if you don't want to submit to Yah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So I'm just saying, like, to help the brothers to understand this, I just said in the ancient tongue, in the ancient Hebrew, Yakwaha means obey. So that's what you do. Obey Yahweh. All right? Because you could call yourself a bird, but that don't mean you a bird. And just because I chirp like a bird don't mean I'm a canary. All right, Mashpaka, I'm about to go. But shalom to the Mashpaka that came, and to the family that will come hereafter. Please like and share the broadcast, and thank you also for watching. And remember to go and follow the family that came and showed up on the page. And if you I'm gonna grant you permission to go. I'm gonna create. I want to create something on my uh, community tab where y'all can put down, like, if y'all got new channels or whatever, share this video and tell the people, say, look, go on his community tab when he write up his post and write down your channels on there. If you don't have no followers, people to come and support any of the things you're doing, just have people to come and say, if you want to be a part, if you want to come and buy from my store or whatever, or if you want to come and listen to my messages, if you a car salesman or whatever, just put your name down under the tab that I'm gonna make, and I'm finna post you. I'm gonna make a plaque of all of y'all that come up there, and so that people can know your channel and go and follow it. So I'll put y'all links down in there. All right, so that y'all can build up one another. All right, Mashpaka, I'm about to go. But shalom to the hearers and the keepers of the word. Aman. I hope that y'all be at peace. Shalom, Mashpaka.